Flow with it, man. Yeah, we at the Go Us podcast. It's my pleasure to have Elijah Morgan here. This is the young kid that I always give an example of a person believing in themselves. I had a situation, I was talking to him about Rhodes College up in Memphis, but he said he's gonna take a shot and take a chance and go into Notre Dame, which is kind of considered a top 5 school. And I just want y'all to know, less than 1% walk on at Division I. Did you even know that?
I did not.
Less than 1%. What is less than 1%?
That's nothing.
Nearly.
Yeah.
If you're less than 1%, it's an academic guy, so he already did the math. So please, without further ado, Elijah Morgan, and please tell him about your journey from high school to college. How did you do it, man?
For sure.
Notre Dame.
So yeah,
Notre Dame.
Elijah Morgan. I went to Jesuit High School down in right there in Mid-City, New Orleans, and played varsity for 4 years from my freshman year on. And once I was done, my senior year, I had one Division I offer to Southeastern Louisiana down there in Hammond. Shout out Coach Jay Ladner. I think he's at Southern Miss right now. But I had that offer late in the year. I'm pretty sure my season was over at that point, my senior year. And once he gave me the offer, and I was basically deciding between that and I had this merit leadership scholarship at Notre Dame that my coach was grateful enough to let me pursue. I had to miss Monday practices every week to go do these little rounds of interviews and stuff, and I ended up getting the Notre Dame scholarship, and I kind of had to think beyond basketball at that point. I kind of thought I get a degree from Southeastern, a degree from Notre Dame, and I felt like that degree from Notre Dame kind of carried more weight.
Kind of.
Not kind of. Very much did.
I mean, that was being nice.
Being nice,
being modest,
yeah.
but being honest,
Yeah.
trying to be able to live in that basketball world.
Definitely.
As well as you play, maintain academics. So,
Right.
I looked you up, I got to have the information.
Of
So,
course.
even at Notre Dame, you was what, an ACC academic
All
person.
academic, yeah. I think I finished Notre Dame with like a 3.6 GPA, something like that. So, yeah, it was.
There ain't no listen, there's no lightweight in the building.
Yeah.
Basketball is one aspect. He has it upstairs.
Definitely, that's.
I mean, he could have went and played NAIA. That'd have been an easy choice.
Yeah.
But he betted on himself a little more, So I just wanted y'all guys to hear that. So let me ask you this: what did your friends and family thought? Because I'm gonna let you remember the conversation you and I had.
Definitely. My family has always been real supportive, but it was a big decision. I was.
Any anxiety? Like, did you feel like, yo, I gotta be crazy if you think I can walk on?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's correct. It is a little. What's the 1%? So he did it.
Definitely.
So it's less than 1%. So it ain't like
Yeah, I mean, it was every day over the summer I was working out, not knowing if I was gonna play again. I just bet on myself, got up there, introduced myself to the coach. I was sending them emails and stuff. They weren't responding yet. Then when I finally got into the school, then they responded to me, which is crazy.
Yeah, because could you imagine the amount of emails they get on a
Right,
round?
for sure.
Like you say, you're talking 6-foot point guard.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
I don't pass the eye test.
Yeah, so 6-foot point guard.
Yeah,
and I remember having a conversation with him. He was coming to my summer workouts where, we was getting the young guys ready. He came, he was shining in the workouts, and I was like, man, this kid could really play. Then I told him, man, I could get you in Rhodes College. The coach know who you are. And XYZ, and he was like, coach, I'm gonna go ahead and try at Notre Dame. And I'm thinking like NAIA, you're an academic sound kid. You come out of there, you're gonna make about $150,000, $100,000 for sure.
Right.
Once you graduate. And he said that he gonna take a chance. And we got the clothing brand that says Go Me, and it's a Go Me moment, it's a Go Us. So for him believing in himself, I never forgot that moment. And I ran into him yesterday in the gym, as fate would have it. And I was able to talk to Elijah again, and I hadn't seen him since that moment we had that conversation.
That's been like 5 years.
So that just show you what believing in yourself. I guess he said to himself, "Why not me?"
Yep.
And he was better than that 1%, right? He proved that he could do it.
Yeah.
So what some of the challenges was facing going through that process, getting to the school? Let's get into it. Once you got there, you was not on the team, of
Right,
course.
it was not on the team. I finally got an email address for like the video coordinator, like the last guy on the coaching staff, and just from there, I finally got to go to the practice facility, see what that's like. They invited me to play pickup with the team. Not on the team, it was me and a couple other guys they invited to go play pickup, and then the walk-on tryouts came.
How many guys?
Probably about 30 if I had to guess.
Look at that. 30 guys in that 1%.
Yeah,
30 guys in the tryout?
So yeah, it was something. It was a full gym, definitely full gym. It was probably about 30 guys. They didn't just let anybody come off just the school. I think you had to either be on the club team or you had to have played high school. You couldn't just try to walk on.
Yeah, some kind of prove that they ain't wasting time.
I would say it was about 30 of us, and I was the only one chosen. It was just one walk on. So I think that's what one
and
out
they
of
carried
30.
12 at that time. I think it's now might be at 15. That's the new rules.
15,
something like that.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool because now they could probably take 2 high school guys and a bunch of junior college guys.
Right, definitely. Yeah, my first year we had 12 players, so including myself. I was actually the only new player from the team before. They brought no new recruits in. I was the only new player, so that was kind of interesting, being the only new guy. But yeah, whatever 1 out of 30, 1 divided by 30, that was my chances. I think it's 3%. I had a 3% chance to make the team, and
And you made it.
I made it, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So you was more of an ancillary guy for most of it, but you practiced with the team, you played.
So
I saw one of the games you got in.
Yeah.
I saw that because, I was like, man, with this kid.
Yeah.
Because, I'll never forget the conversation we had.
Yeah.
And I'm always got you in the back of my mind. So now when I saw one of the games you got in the game, and I was like, wow, man, this kid is not only did he make the team, he also playing.
Definitely. I mean, I remember my first 2 weeks I was on the team. I called my dad. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this because I wasn't even getting in practice. I would do the warm-ups. We would go over the plays, and then once they started playing live, they already had 10 people. So I would just sit out unless someone needed a break or unless someone got hurt. There was no, Elijah sub in. I didn't really get that until so we had 12 dudes. One of my teammates transferred after the first game. Just put his name. Yeah, so then we were down to 11.
So a guy left?
Guy left after the first or second game of the season. So now we're down to 11.
That's without the portal?
Yeah, without the portal.
I'm talking there was no portal?
Yeah, not yet. And then another kid ended up tearing his ACL after the second game. So now,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And now we're down to 10, so I'm practicing every day. I went from not practicing for 2 weeks to doing everything.
So timing is everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
Timing is everything. Just the fact he went from, that's why I say, you got a plan, God got a plan, and God's plan goes first.
Yep.
Because that's a clear example. Just being in the right position at the right time and believing in yourself is powerful. Go ahead.
Definitely. And so yeah, my first year, first and second year, we only had about 10, 11 guys, so I was practicing every day. Really never felt like a walk-on. There was only one time that I remember where coach made me guard everyone in a full court ball handling drill. I was playing defense the whole time, guarding them. That was probably the one time I ever really felt like a walk-on. Everything else, besides not playing for the most part, but everything else was just in practice. I was doing everything.
But what did that do for you? Because you felt the way, but what did it do for? Was there a benefit after doing all that? You see?
Definitely.
What was the benefit? You say? Because that's a drill a lot of coaches do to find out what kind of dogs, because they know.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know these Division I coaches have to keep their job.
Right.
They got to win at least 20 games, win the conference, all of these things. So they can't have no guy that's not 100%. But go ahead, explain what you think it did for you.
I think for me, it just improved my passion for the game. I knew that, after I did that, I was like, I want to be on this team. I belong on this team. It didn't do anything except help elevate my game playing against those guys every day. Some of my great friends still right now. My best friend was a starting point guard on that team. We were on the team for 3 years together. At that point, it's just iron sharpens iron. I'm going against him every day. Coach knew I was going at him every day because I had nothing to lose. So I'm going to give him my all every day, which ended up getting him better for the games. And so, and then now, being able to transfer after I graduated, go play at a mid-major level at the Citadel and really ball, really get that chance.
No, but let's get into that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to move past that too fast.
Definitely.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Because that's a pivotal point along with the belief, because you already achieved something, so you were like, yo, I could go anywhere and play after that. We know that. But when I'm asking, was there ever a moment where you stopped? I think you said a little bit about it, where you was like, man, I don't think this is a waste of time.
Definitely. My junior year. So
how many years you played there?
3
years.
Yeah, I was at Notre Dame.
Okay, so you got the COVID year.
Yeah.
All right, so because some people are like, oh, how many years you play?
Right.
All right, so go ahead. You played 3 years.
Yep, played
3 years at Notre Dame. See, I didn't even know that. I thought it was 2 and then you moved.
No, it was 3
3
years. And
look, and keeping your scholarship or staying on the team.
Definitely.
Let's get into that in a few seconds. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I remember my third year. Same head coach, but then we got a couple new assistant coaches, and one of the assistant coaches just like made my life hell. Like I started feeling like a walk-on again. I was passing during the drills instead of doing the drill. I was not getting in practice as much as I had used to because my first 2 years I was practicing every day, and I went, which is not the case for most walk-ons. Most walk-ons sit on the side. I think I had a very unique experience, but basically I had an identity crisis. Basically, I remember I just broke down one day because I was like,
whoa.
Yeah, it got deep for me because I was like, my goal was always to
Identity crisis. Listen,
Yeah.
we're talking about an academic kid, hard worker, clearly, and had an identity crisis.
Yeah.
So you almost felt like an imposter? Like an imposter syndrome?
Not an imposter syndrome. It was a little bit, but it was more along the lines of I felt like.
You know what I mean by that? It's like they made you second guess yourself
Right.
if you really on this level.
Right. No,
Like
I knew I belonged. It was just
Good.
I knew
Because
I belonged.
that's the thin line.
Right.
You know what I mean?
My
I'm glad you
issue-
found, you was able to be on the side that, like, yo,
Right.
I earned this.
And the thing was, I would be working out after practice just as much as all the scholarship players. Like, I'd come in on Sundays and shoot. I kept up a routine. I kept up, training and stuff. But then my junior year, once I, kind of felt like a walk-on again, I was like, my goal was always to play Division I. But I was like, I just feel like I didn't quite make it. Like, I'm here, but I'm not really playing. Like, I'm not really doing.
And that's just being honest with yourself.
Right,
like,
right.
a lot of people don't know how successful people is brutally honest with themselves
Definitely.
first before they hear all of the feedback.
Right.
And so now, seemed like you're going to get into what made you make that change and ended up at Citadel.
Yeah, and so basically when that identity crisis happened, I was with one of my good friends, and I just needed some advice. I needed some help. I was like, basketball was all that
What's
I
his
knew.
name? We need to hear those. Because listen, I think people
Yeah,
is the greatest resource
definitely.
when they know what it's about, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Because you could speak to one person, me and him could talk to somebody right now, and they could turn us into a millionaire tomorrow.
Definitely.
Being a human resource. So shout to that person because they was there
Oh yeah,
and made you feel whatever it is that you feel. Because sometimes we're alone in our thoughts and we can't trust
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And you want to hear the right things. Trust me, that's why I'm brutally honest, but I'm fair and firm, and I make sure you understand what I'm saying.
right. Yeah, being alone in your thoughts, it could be a scary world. And so I was basically like, I felt like basketball was who I was. I felt like basketball was all I knew, and I didn't know anything outside of it.
No, but listen, I got to do a show about the amount of friends I lost. I could cry right now.
Yeah.
When we found out there was a such thing as an SAT score, and we all knew we won't be playing college.
Right.
We like, yo, what is an SAT? What is this about?
Yeah.
All it basically said, you guys, because think about it, we're the first group they hit in the head with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from Sam Cassell to all of the top players that went to junior college. So a lot of guys wasn't even good at regular. So a lot of my friends lost their lives trying to hustle.
Right.
Got girls pregnant.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the identity crisis, we got to talk about that more.
Definitely.
Because basketball is all you knew, and that's all we knew.
Yeah.
So we was like, yo, we don't know how to be street people.
Right.
We know street guys, but we
Yeah.
don't know how to really be street guys.
For sure.
And then a lot of guys tried it and lost their lives.
Yeah.
So please get back to the identity crisis, and basketball is all you knew. And let me tell you something. Please expound on that.
Yeah, so growing up, I mean, I played all sports, but basketball, I fell in love with the game probably around middle school. And I always told myself, I remember I did a middle school project, and I told myself I was going to go to Ohio State and play Division I basketball. And that's where my goal, that's where my dreams, that was
You
my
achieved
dream.
it, though.
I achieved it, but when I was at Notre Dame, I felt like I was there, but I wasn't there how I wanted to be because I wanted to play so bad. And I felt
Yeah,
like,
because you envision yourself
Right.
as the main point guard.
Exactly.
Yeah, you,
exactly.
of course.
And so at that point, I was like, I'm not playing, but I'm still working out as much as these guys. I feel like I'm proving myself, but I wasn't seeing the end goal. I wasn't seeing that playing time.
No,
so-
because it's a money game.
Definitely.
I mean, it's all said and done. Was you there on the team on an academic scholarship, and they was not? Was you using any of the money from the basketball?
Only during the summer, and that's why I love Notre Dame, love the coaching staff. They paid, so I didn't pay tuition. I only paid room and board, which is about maybe 10 to 15,000 a year.
Which
And I
is
think-
substantial.
Yeah, because
for certain people, yeah.
Yeah, and it costs like 75,000 to go to Notre Dame, including tuition. So I was out of, I was
that's
$60,000.
letting young guys know college is a true business and they're not taking no lane.
Definitely.
I told kids now, this I'm guesstimating the number. Say about 2 million kids play high school basketball, about 5,000 get a scholarship. So that's 1.995 would not get a scholarship for whatever your impediment is, or whatever your problems are, whatever it is, whatever, you don't think right, you don't act right, you don't pass your classes, whatever it is, you're gonna be in that number. So that's why I say when you talk about what you're talking about, and get back to the identity crisis, and I'm gonna be quiet.
You good, but yeah. So I basically was like, I need to find something else to give myself joy, because I was doing the basketball, working out every day, but I wasn't seeing that end product of playing. So I started hanging out with more of my student friends.
Start becoming a homeboy.
Yeah, I started doing things like I did the fashion show at the school. I just started branching out, doing other things, and once I got to credit Mike Bray, my head coach at Notre Dame.
Say his name one more time.
Mike Bray. He was there for 22, 23 years, I think. And he brought me to his office, end of the year meeting. And he was like, you can graduate early, and I think you can play at the Division I level, but this might not be where you get your opportunity. And brutally honest with me, and that's what I needed, because I knew I could play at that level. I knew I could be a Division I basketball player. And he was like, I think you should put your name in the portal, and I'll help you out. Whatever you need, whatever coaches need, recommendations, I'll help you get to, that place where you can play.
So that's coaching to me.
Yeah.
That's being brutally honest, but also giving a person an option to help them move along. That's what coaching is to me. Don't tell me what's wrong with me and then leave it up to me or give me an answer. So
yeah, Mike Bray, and I credit Mike Bray so much just for me being where I am today. He gave me a chance. My freshman year, I think I played in 12 games as a walk-on, which just doesn't really happen.
Glad for that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot.
That's real.
So my freshman year was the most games I played in. Sophomore year, I got my first start, my one and only start in a conference game against University of Miami. I started.
That's big, man.
Got in. I used to just play trash minutes. When we're blowing somebody out or somebody's blowing us out. My sophomore year, I got in a couple games. First half against Virginia Tech and North Carolina. So I was working my way up, and I think that's what gave them the confidence to be able to help me out once it came time for me to go in the portal. And I couldn't have achieved that without being on top of my game. Still working out, even though I'm a walk-on, still putting up more shots than some of the scholarship players, things along those lines. So, if it wasn't for that constant grind, that constant work ethic, where I didn't see that light at the end of the tunnel, where I was just like, oh, I'm a walk-on, and I could have just showed up to practice 10 minutes before, left right after, but I think I had an end goal that I don't think a lot of people saw, except myself and my family. So I think that just speaks volumes to where I am today and the work that went into that nobody saw, kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff, which, in any sport, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. There's a lot of social media going on, people posting their workouts, but what are you doing when no one's watching you? Are you going to the gym by yourself? I ran into you going to the gym by myself.
Right. And we ran through a few workouts.
Right.
Like quick.
And I've never really had no, set trainer. I didn't have a trainer in high school.
Right.
Until when I finished high school, that's when I started going to you. I had already finished school. When I come back for college, I'll go to a couple people here and there. But I never had a set trainer coming up. It was just me going to
you versus the world.
Yeah.
Trust me, we all learn to play that way.
Definitely.
That's the first. It's the passion.
Yeah.
The passion is what's going to carry you through. Like they say, the knowledge go to the passionate people.
Right.
The reps going to go to the passionate people because it's really your habits.
Definitely.
It's like it became your habits. So now, what would be your advice to these young guys that's thinking about walking on? What would you say? How did you get through that mentally?
It was a grind. It's a mental grind. You gotta know your mental strength.
Even if it's junior college.
Yeah, even if it's junior college, it doesn't matter the level, because you're already behind the 8 ball as a walk-on.
Right.
That title brings with it certain expectations. You're expected to be one of the leading academic guys. You're expected to never be late. There are different standards for a walk, because they don't need you, to be quite honest.
That's heavy.
I actually had an experience at Notre Dame. Me and the starting point guard, we were out one day at the football game. We ended up, getting into it with one of the ushers. They saw we had basketball on. Me and my team, me and my best friend, we had 2 different punishments.
Wow.
He's the starting point guard. I'm the walk-on. 2 completely different punishments, and that just goes to show you that that title comes with certain expectations. You're expected to always keep your nose clean. You got to be one of the hardest workers. I mean, if you're just going in there showing
So
up,
not just walking on is one thing.
Right.
What you basically saying, get the message. His message is, if you come in there with that title as a walk-on and you happen to make that team and it work all out, you got a bigger mountain to climb. Because now you got to prove why we even need you.
right?
Because
Exactly.
you're the easiest guy we could cut.
Exactly.
So if you do anything to get yourself cut, it's easier.
They owe you no scholarship money. You're helping them out. They are really not helping you. I mean, I guess they're helping you out by letting you make the team, but everything that you do goes into the team. Like there is no, you don't see the glory in what you do. I was at practice
That's
making
hard,
other.
Coach. Let me tell you something, young fella.
It's hard.
I even got more respect for you for the simple fact, self-awareness of all this.
Yeah,
You understood all of this and still showed up.
definitely.
Because you know what's, but I'm saying, how much people have that discipline? That's a different
is.
discipline, and that's a different grind.
I did it for 3 years, and it's not for everybody for sure. And
But it built your character.
hard.
It built you for everything.
Oh yeah, and
So when people say I'm built for this, you're like, yeah, prove it.
Right.
Because I already did.
it was hard for me. I wanted to be on that court so bad. I knew I could play on that court. And I finally got a couple of chances, but I knew deep down, like, especially practicing with him every day, like,
It's a different thing. It's a different,
like me,
it's a different challenge.
I'm not far off from these dudes. I practice with them every day. I had days where,
But you still had to get in it to know. It's almost like when I told you, Mike Tyson knew he could. I mean, Holyfield knew he could beat Mike Tyson because
Right.
they sparred when he was young.
Right.
So it's a difference
right,
between.
it's just like that,
Yeah, you was like, yo, man, I could get with these.
Definitely, just practicing with him every day. I used
And,
to.
and to me, I think that was the really.
Yeah.
Let's get to Citadel. Let's talk.
Definitely.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that.
So,
we got to get to that.
Yeah, after my third year at Notre Dame, I entered the transfer portal, and Coach Ed Conroy, I actually went to high school with his son. His son was a senior when I was a sophomore. So my freshman and sophomore years, I played varsity with his youngest son, and so that's kind of where the connection came in.
Nice.
And so he was at Vanderbilt and just got the job at the Citadel like that summer. So he's trying to build a team. And he called me the first day I put my name in the portal. I submitted my paperwork and probably got a call from him maybe 45 minutes later. Like it was like that.
So that means your reputation
Definitely.
and the years of you putting in,
Definitely.
he never forgot who you are.
And I know he called Mike Bray too, because
Right.
I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, Ed Conroy called, Coach Bray was, oh, let me get your film together. I'm gonna get one of these guys to get your film together. I'm giving him good words. Coach Conroy asked him, do you think he's a starting point guard in the SoCon? And Coach Bray was like, I told him, like, without a doubt, yes.
Good.
And and you can't say that without me showing over those 3 years that, I can compete at that level. So once again, it just goes into the hard work that went in day in and day out.
You took advantage of a situation
Yeah.
you didn't have, and then you was prepared for a situation
Definitely.
that showed up.
Definitely.
That's what the hard work is about, fellas. You got to let the hard work
Yeah.
handle everything. Man.
Yeah. And so I get to the Citadel. I was at the Citadel for 2 years.
Nice.
And so my first year, I think I started 28 out of the 33 games.
Wow.
Because I probably would have started every game, but I was injured in the beginning of the season. So I sat out the first 4 games. I didn't sat out. I came off the bench for the first 4 games. But that was in it of itself an adjustment. Just because I'm going from 3 years not playing.
Being on the outside.
Right, and I'm playing heavy minutes for 33 games.
Now your body is like,
my body wasn't really
built for it.
yeah.
No, that's why some guys, they
yeah.
say they hit the wall when they get to the
Definitely.
pros, because you're talking about 80, 90 games,
Yeah.
and you coming off playing 40 games 2 years in a row, 3
Right.
years in a row. That's 2 seasons in one once you hit the NBA.
Exactly. So I think I played 10 games my last season at Notre Dame. Now I go into playing 33 games, playing 30 minutes a game. Like it was heavy wear and tear, and that was something I wasn't used to. Going back to high school, that was
Oh,
the
no.
last,
You had nothing to compare it to. Oh,
yeah.
definitely
High
not.
school was the last time I consistently played, that many minutes. And then, so my first year that was rough. I think I averaged 7 points a game my first year at the Citadel, which is respectable, but
That's a
not,
point guard, yeah.
Yeah, that's not really what I
10 and
envisioned
10.
for myself. But even then, that's the first time I ever got a sports psychologist. My first year at the Citadel.
Wow.
We go back to that mental side of basketball.
Woo! Sports performance, huh?
Yeah, I remember I had 0 points one game, conference game. This was after a couple of down games that I had, and I remember the coach came to the back of the bus and was like, he said, "What are we gonna do with you?" And I was like, man, I don't know. And at that point, I was like, I need some help. My mom had tried to get me to go to this woman she met, sports therapist, for like 3 weeks. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I never believed in that.
Yeah, they just get the plate. They help you process it.
Right. And
help you how to put it in place.
I talked to her. I remember the next 5 games.
Say her name, man. Say her name if you
Shout
remember.
out Miss Alex.
You got to give these people credit because they living like us, man. Once you become the right kind of human resource, because I tell people that when it comes to making, it's the resources, it's the relationships.
Definitely.
It's what's the other one? That knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what she.
And then it's
provided
gonna
me
come
with.
down with what kind of people you're doing it with. Because
She provided me with that knowledge, which in a different way to think about things that I wasn't thinking about before. To just changing my habits, my sleep habits, what I was eating, changing positive self-talk when I'm in games, and really relying on relying on the confidence that I knew was
deep
there.
down inside.
Because I did it at Notre Dame, and I knew it was there, so it was just a matter of me getting that out. And so shout out Miss Alex. I remember my next 5 games, I was in double figures.
There you are.
And that's just the surface level of what people saw. But it just went, my health was better, my physical health. I was getting more sleep, and it just changed the rest of my season, honestly. My trajectory started going up once I started talking to her. So I remember I talked to her like once a week. And then flowing into my last year at the Citadel, I averaged like 14 and a half, 15 points per game. And that just like, without her, that wouldn't have happened. But that off season, going into my last year at the Citadel, I was like, I'm going for it all.
That's some clarity.
Yeah, I'm going for it all.
A moment of clarity. This is a moment of clarity. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're going to do. You're going to get it done.
Definitely.
X, Y, Z.
This was my year. We had lost our leading scorer. So I was like, yeah, it's time for me to, step up and do what I know I was trying to do out of high school. Like, this is my time to prove that I can score. I can play at this level consistently, without a doubt from anybody. And so I remember my coach, Coach Conroy, came to me and was like, we're going to make that Notre Dame game happen. And that was, I remember
so y'all get to play against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's big.
At Notre Dame.
How that went down?
Man,
Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame, we went in December 19th, 2023, beat them boys by 20.
Y'all won?
Beat them by 20. I was a leading scorer.
That's true redemption.
Oh, yeah. That was probably...
How much you had?
19. Leading scorer on both teams.
Yo.
That was...
Now, that ain't know that part of the story.
Yeah,
That's big.
That's full circle.
So, a walk-on came back and killed.
Oh, yeah. I was named Mid-Major Player of the Week, National Mid-Major Player of the Week.
And y'all knocked them off?
Yeah, knocked them off by 20.
Damn, they let you go?
They let me go. Yeah. But,
Hey, so that was a lesson in a lesson.
Oh yeah, that was probably the most full circle, one of the most fulfilling moments in my life.
That got to be one.
That was one of the most fulfilling moments in my life.
So imagine that you walk on, you transfer, and beat the team you walked on.
Yep.
Wow.
Went back to their place.
So look, I got to give him his hat.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, pick what's one or take both. Don't matter. This is his go me moment, man. Look, got to give him the go me. Look, man, he
definitely
walked on. So tell him about your go me moment. It is right there.
That right there was,
you gotta hit the hat, man.
Let me
You gotta throw one. You gotta have both, man. Don't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw both of them on.
Whatever one you want, you gotta have both, man.
Definitely.
That's my guy, man. Elijah Morgan, man.
Yes, sir.
Came through, did the interview. All I can say is, man, I'm proud of you. And look, man, let him know what your future looking like, man.
Yeah.
It ain't over. He ain't done.
Nah, I'm not done.
He's not done. You still got more left.
I just signed a pro contract. I leave next Thursday. I go into play in Switzerland.
I'm coming
first
out.
Division, their first
I'm coming
division
out.
League, so.
I'm coming out to Switzerland.
Oh yeah, it's a big chance for me to just get my pro career started. I feel like my best basketball is yet to be played.
23 years old. You got a lot left in the tank.
I got a lot left in the tank. So
Look, he got it out the mud.
Definitely, yeah.
Got it out the mud. Listen, his grind is real.
Yeah.
You know it's real.
And so now I'm working out every day. I leave next Thursday, and it's go
That's
time.
why I had to do this. This was a hurry up offense.
It's go time.
We had to get it done. We had to get it done because see, it's go time.
It's go time.
Listen, why not me?
Why not?
Why not me? That's it. Morgan,
yes, sir.
my guy.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
go me, go you,
yes, sir.
Go us.
Yes, sir.
We did it. Woo! Bro, I'm going to dock that up.